3. The mountains never look so good as when they stood framing you in all your beauty. The way I feel no words can tell. They're but the shell of this love I feel so truly for you. Katie, listen to me now. Katie, I really don't know how. Katie, I've got this far without loving you. I swear I'm like a child again. You're such a friend, sometimes I think I'm dreaming. Your loving sets my world on fire. I could expire, I think I've found the only meaning through you. Katie, listen to me now. Katie, I really don't know how. Katie, I've got this far without loving you. No expectations, this love is not blind. You bring me back to what I left behind. Young as the morning, I touch you and find a reason for going on, a reason for going on. Katie, listen to me now. Katie, I really don't know how. Katie, I've got this far without loving you. Woman, child, you come to me so very free. Your joy is written on you. The world outside keeps pressing in. I pray you win, may it never come to tame you. Katie, listen to me now. Katie, I really don't know how. Katie, I've got this far without loving you. Without loving you. Without loving you, without loving you. Oh yeah, I had it bad when I wrote that one. That's sending that out to Katie. I hope you're feeling better. She's big time under the weather. I think she caught my bug finally. She resisted as long as possible. What did Yogananda say? Your willpower isn't as strong as the company you keep. Well, maybe you could throw in a physical constitution along with that. This is Question of Meaning, and I'm Arthur flying solo, and it's terrifying, and someone left the answering machine on, so we will just I'll keep running my mail so you won't hear the message that's going off right now. So, blah, 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 la, 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 la. Maybe I'll just do another song. Let's see, what was I thinking of? That's a bad sign. And it's a protracted message, of course. It's not just going to hang up. This is, this is an interesting one called Cripple for Life. See if we can get through this. Hey, cripple, do you think about the time when you were walking? Did you ever not know life's a hunter stalking? It's a sickness that you might say is going round, yeah. Just a matter of time till it's bound to cut you down. Crippled for life, crippled for life. Crippled for life. Hey, cripple, once there was a time when you were free and laughing, running on the meadows, endless summers passing, and your body was like the love you wore inside, and and the beauty of all eclipsed your need for pride. Crippled for life, crippled for life, crippled for life. Hey, cripple, why don't you admit you're haunted by the memory? And you keep a spark of hope alive so dimly, and the light of it's just enough to see your way. Yeah, you're hoping to stand and walk again someday. Yeah. Crippled for life, crippled for life. Oh, crippled for life. Hey, cripple, you are not alone, but part of oh so many. Look around for healthy, see if you find any. And the crutches they use aren't enough to make them whole. Yeah, they're limping through life on an artificial soul. Yeah, crippled for life, crippled for life, crippled for life. Crippled for life, oh, crippled for life, yeah, crippled for life, crippled for life, crippled for life. Oh yeah, babies, there is crippled and then there's crippled. There's the obvious physical crippledom, state I'm fairly familiar with. And then there's psychological crippledom, madness, craziness, better dead than red craziness. That makes me think of another song I wrote that I can't play. I haven't played for weeks. Why do they say sick as a dog? I never quite understood that. Maybe a dog, well, never mind. Let's not explore that. Let's not go down that road. Yeah, this one is called Doomsday. Katie and I were living in Nashville and got the Sunday Tennessean one morning, on Sunday morning, and Parade magazine, surely one of the last place you would think you would find inspiration, with stories like the importance of water safety and stuff like that usually. But the cover of it was a shot of planet Earth about maybe 50, 75,000 miles out, showing huge fires burning and spreading this brown nastiness across the face of the earth. And it was an article by Carl Sagan, and his term, I think he coined it, of a nuclear winter, in which it was arguable that even a limited thermonuclear exchange could result in a nuclear winter. And this is way before the climate declined as it has today. It's probably much more true today than it was then. And that even a limited thermonuclear exchange could result in the extinction of the human race. I just got furious, and I whipped out my ballpoint and some paper and wrote this song, and I can't play it because my guitar playing isn't up to snuff lately. It's never up to snuff the way it used to be. But anyway, I'll recite it. It's called Doomsday. In God we trust, the printed lie. We trust those missiles set to fly, and better dead than red's the cry. To save our freedom, all will die on Doomsday. The words of Jesus twisted weak. We turn to war and not our cheek, and make the Lamb of Love a freak. Misunderstanding hits its peak on Doomsday. I will say goodbye to you while I have the time, 'cause I'm not sure that I'll live out this one rhyme. You know, a life in fear of the bomb's a crime, 'cause we're never free of that grinning mime called Doomsday. The generals gloat on nightmare toys, and we of course support our boys and compliment their widows' poise, while deafened to the rising noise of doomsday. Now you hit me, I'll hit you back. From rocks to H-bombs, whack for whack. The ancient human reflex tack. This train will run right out of track on doomsday. I will say goodbye to you while I have the time, 'cause I'm not sure that I'll live out this one rhyme. You know, a life in fear of the bomb's a crime, 'cause we're never free of that grinning mime called doomsday. 10,000 years of violence stands, a clock of death whose icy hands keep ticking till the nightmare stands. Now love alone can stop the plans of doomsday. You know, what's growing up? You know, catastrophes, illness, plague, war. You know, it happens. That's been a part of life for all of history and beyond. But what is it? What's the effect of growing up with the threat of blinding light going off, and your world has come to an end? I grew up with that. I think that could have been one of the things that spawned the 60s, the World Youth Rebellion. That if we're this crazy, if we continue to follow violence as a solution, hitting back, then Gandhi, eye for an eye, he said, will result in an eyeless, sightless world. That's what we've achieved. It's just crazy. When everybody's dead, who cares about your sovereign rights or your nation or your patriotism or anything else? It's a state of madness. When I was in the 4th grade, we just moved to a town in North Florida, a little town, and they had a fire siren, and I had never heard it before. You could hear it all over town. And I was aware of the A-bomb back then in the ancient days. I was in the backyard playing. 4th grade, I was 10 years old. And all of a sudden, the siren went off. And I froze because I thought it was an air raid siren. And I looked up in the sky, and there was a jet way up high in the sky. And I just froze in horror because I was sure that this was it, that the end was about to happen. And it wasn't something at that time, when I got into my adolescence, I did start obsessing on it. Strategic, global thermonuclear war. Because that and the photo documentation of the Nazi death camps led me to the conclusion that we're not going to make it. People that are capable of this, we're very arguably we're not going to make it. But that told me that reaction to a 10-year-old kid tells me that deeply buried was this fallout shelter mentality. There was this horrible animated thing, crude line drawings on Ed Sullivan's show one night that showed, the bomb coming and the people's faces melting into skulls, which was done much better, many years later in Terminator 2. But it's something that we live with. It's something that's unspoken. It's not polite to talk about, like death. You kind of tune it out, like driving past all those cemeteries and funeral homes. It's okay if you're interested in that kind of thing. But I think there's a terrible psychological toll to be living under the threat of human-made annihilation for any reason whatsoever. Pakistan has atomic bombs, about 100, the last I heard. That should, if that doesn't make you scared,